and welcome back to the B. Jones Style channel. I'm Beth Jones, and we here at the B. Jones Style channel are about one thing: always playing dress up. Normally my videos are all about going thrifting, being inspired by the runway, playing dress up, which that is still true. We're in a situation right now, we're all under quarantine and I have been staying at home, so my videos are changing a little bit right now. It's been really fun to think of new ideas for the B. Jones Style channel, and one of the ideas that I came up with is the video that is today. It is 10 items, 10 outfits, and the item that you guys chose over on my Instagram account was 10 belts, 10 outfits. I love belts. I have always loved belts. It started way back when I watched Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City. She always wore belts and I got so inspired by that, and I have learned over the years that thrift stores are honestly the best places to find belts. You can always find so many vintage belts in thrift stores, and they're usually really well priced, and they're really, for the most part, well made. I think it's actually pretty hard to find great belts like the vintage belt. I think you should go vintage when you're looking for belts, honestly. It's, to me, the best option. There are so many amazing vintage stores to shop on Instagram right now, also Poshmark, and head over to Etsy and eBay. If this video inspires you to get some belts, hit all of those small businesses online and start searching for belts, because that's also something that we can do during this time, is support all of these amazing small businesses that have incredible vintage shops. And before I show you guys the 10 belts that I'm going to style today, I thought we should just talk about a few little things that make for a great belt. Now, these are just my opinions. Everybody has their own style that they love to wear, and that's totally fine, but this is what I look for when I'm looking for belts. One is that it is a waist belt. I want belts, they're going to cinch at my waist, which just means, and I'll show you an example, I've got this leopard print belt, which I love, and what makes this a great waist belt is that I can actually, this is what I do in the thrift store. I put it on my waist and I make sure that it's going to hit my waist, and it's going to buckle in the loops at my waist, which of course you want them to also go on pants that are high-waisted as well. But you just want to make sure it's not too long and the holes are not too far out that it's supposed to be more of a hip belt. Really what you want to look for is that more waist belt, whatever that is for you and however that fits. And you can, which I have done this in the past, if the belt is too long, you can add a hole. But for the most part, I do try to look for belts that really are just going to fit naturally at my waist. The second tip is that I always look for belts that are really well made. There's a lot of belts out there that are kind of those wide waist belts, but then they've added this kind of elasticy, cheaply made piece at the back, and so then it kind of loses the quality of the belt. I try to avoid belts like that, and usually you can even just tell they're kind of more plasticky and they're not made with, you know, maybe genuine leather. So I try to avoid belts that are just more cheaply made like that. And for me, belts are the area to play, to just get a little bit crazy and kooky. So it's all about finding those really fun, extra fab pieces. So for me, a lot of my belts have a lot of gold detail to them. They might have some print detail, chains, a little bit of color. I don't love colorful belts too often. That's just my personal preference, but I know there's a lot of really fun, colorful belts out there. So it's kind of like choosing where you want to play. For me, that's like the gaudy goldness. That's where I love to play with my belts, and then every now and then like a fun print. Also just the styling detail of the belt. So if they're extra wide, or if they have like really cool pointed geometric shapes to them, anything that's really eye-catching. To me, this is like the frosting on the cake. This is the frosting to your outfit, is putting on that belt. So to me, this is the area that you should just go all out and have fun and get crazy with it. Those are my tips on what I look for in a belt. And now let's hop into the 10 belts that I'm gonna style today and give you guys the inside scoop of what they look like and why I love them. First up, I'm gonna be styling this amazing kind of braided, very 1980s shell belt. I love a good 80s belt with some pastel prettiness going on. Next is my vintage Moschino gold belt. I remember this was such a big deal in the early days of fashion blogging. I remember seeing this belt pop up, and I happened to find it in the thrift store and was instantly like, yes, please, I'll take it. And I was so excited about this belt, and I used to wear it all the time, and I realized I haven't worn it in a while, so I'm so excited to style this belt up today. But it's all about the gold gaudy goodness, and in the fact it says Moschino, but then super classic with the brown and gold. Definitely a statement belt. This gold gaudy goodness, oh, it even has kind of a Grecian vibe to it. It is crazy amazing. This was found at Savers, and I just love all of the detail, the ornate details that are on it, the chains that hang off. This is often worn with fancy dresses and things like that, but I'm excited to take it in a little bit of a casual direction this time around, so we'll see. This is one I have and haven't really worn that much, but it's a white, just kind of cream, really pretty buckle is what sold me on it, and I love the detail and just the simplicity of it. But then it's just such a great kind of 1980s statement. So I'm excited to take the challenge to style this belt up because, like I said, I don't think I've worn it except for one time. So this will be a good one. I think anytime you find a wide belt like this, either in black or brown, you should get it. This is a really gorgeous brown leather with gold buckle, super wide belt that fits perfectly around the waist. I think that's the thing with these wide belts. You want to make sure they're waist belts and not hip belts. This one to me is all about classic, but a little bit of glamour. You guys might remember this one. I thrifted this at Savers. I forget which video. Oh, I think this was my street style video. I found this gold belt that's amazing. It has like metal and leather woven together, and it's just so perfect. So I'm excited. You guys know I love me some gold, so it'll be fun to style up a gold braided belt. This is one of my absolute favorite statement belts that I have. It is falling apart a little bit, but I do not care. It's amazing, so 80s, so over the top. It's got like purple in it and green. It even has some orange in it, which I think kind of is falling off, but that's okay. And what's really cool is when you buckle it, it does this overlap detail. So you've got kind of this really cool like pointed detail there at the top, and then, you know, the buckle goes through it, but it's such an 80s statement of goodness. I had to do at least one classic belt, and I think every woman should have just a great brown leather with a gold buckle. They come in so handy. They look great if you're wearing a pair of denim that's high waist. They look great if you're wearing a skirt and a tank. They look great over a vintage dress. They look great over a robe. They're really just the everyday belt that everyone should have. This one is a newer version, but I've always just had a brown classic leather belt that's a waist belt in my closet, and I think it's essential. I think if you guys know me for one belt, it's probably this one. This is my all-time favorite belt that I have ever owned, ever will own. I just love it. Black leather. It's got coins on them with faces, and it's so Versace. It's not Versace, but it's so Versace, which I just love. Anything that's kind of over the top like that. And to me, look at this, even just look at the belt buckle. Oh, it's so good. And I just feel like anytime I put this on with anything, it just elevates the look. People are always like, oh my gosh, I love your belt. Oh, it's so good. So and black and gold to me are just kind of like the most classic combo that you can have. And honestly, you could just, even with what I'm wearing today, I feel like I could have thrown this belt on with this. It's my ride or die. It's my happy belt. I love it. And the final belt, and I think you guys have probably seen me wear this so many times, and it really is one of the most amazing chain belts I've ever found. It has lion head door knocker details. It's got this chain that drapes down, and then it's just so good. I've had this for years. I don't even know where I got it, how long I've had it. It's been in my closet that long, but I've never gotten rid of it. And I think anytime you find a great chain belt, it's one of those pieces that you have to hold on to because they always come in handy. And I love the idea of this with dresses, but I also love the idea of glamming up a pair of trouser pants with a golden chain belt. So it's just, to me, this is one of the best glam additions that you can have in your closet. And those are all my belts. Those are the 10 that I'm gonna style today, and I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. It's gonna look a little bit like what I wore, where I'm going to just build outfits, fast motion for you, and hopefully over the course of those 10 outfits, it's gonna really get your brain buzzing, get you inspired, and get you ready to wear some belts. So let's go. looks, and definitely Carrie Bradshaw was a massive inspiration. I'm sure you could tell, especially this final look that basically is all Carrie, head to toe. I hope this video was a little bit of an escape for you into the land of always playing dress up, getting your brain buzzing with new ideas for when you get to go fabulous places and dress it up. But you can also do this at home, and I honestly think being at home is such a great time to experiment and play because you're just in your house and you're comfortable. So why not pull out the belts that you have, hopefully take a little bit of some of the ideas that you saw here and just play. It's always about playing, experiment, get crazy, get creative, pull those belts out. They don't just have to be to hold your pants up. They can be used in all different kinds of ways. So with that, I hope you guys like this video and you'll give it a thumbs up. Please leave your comments below. I love doing this idea of 10 items, 10 outfits, so let me know other items that you guys would like to see me do in the future for different videos like this. I will still be bringing you guys as much content as I can every single Thursday for sure here on my YouTube channel. I'm doing a ton over on Instagram, even doing some Instagram live, so if you're not following me there, head over to Instagram and follow me at BJonesStyle. Always play dress up, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!